How's it going, everyone? My name is Jace, and we are here today with a tutorial that I decided needed to be made because after looking on YouTube, and pretty much that's it because I don't do much research, I couldn't find a pretty solid video that's up to date that explained the way enchanting worked or the way to get a fully enchanted diamond sword, because that can be a difficult thing to achieve if you're playing in survival. Now, the number one thing about enchanting to understand is that for every item you have, you can only edit that item 6 times. So say we have this diamond sword here, we put this diamond sword in here, putting sharpness 5 on it, that's 1 edit. Now the diamond sword has 7 enchantments possible, so that's going to be one too many enchantments. If we go ahead and add every enchantment over here, you'll see that we're going to max out with 1 book left, and we're not going to be able to put that last one on there. It's going to be too expensive. Now, there's a few ways to get around that. One way is to enchant your sword first and hope to get some sort of enchantment that has 2 of the max enchantments on there. Now, this one didn't. I'm going to go ahead and get one by going in creative and just giving myself a few diamond swords. It's not going to take too many chances, too many tries, and you should get one that has right here. We have 2 max level enchantments. Now, to get the max level sword now, all you have to do is take your max level 2, at least 2 max level enchantments. Now, if you have sharpness 4, it's not really going to work. You're still going to have 1 left, unless you have a sharpness 4 book or something. There's ways to dilly-dally with it, but if you want to make sure you have at least 2 fully max enchantments right there, and go ahead and take fully max enchanted books, and you're just not going to apply the ones that you already have. So we have sweeping edge and knockback, so we're just going to put sharpness 5 on there. Fire spec 2, looting 3, unbreaking 3, and mending. Now, we've only edited this sword 4 times now, so we can edit it 2 more times by repairing it. Well, we're not going to need to do that since we have mending, but that's a edited 4 twice sword. That way, that's a way to get all the enchantments on there. One way people like to do it is by combining smaller enchanted books and into 1 book. However, every item keeps its previous edits once you make it into a new item. So we have here 16 sharpness 1 books, which is how much you need to get 1 sharpness 5 book. Now, if we go over here and we combine all these together and we try to get a sharpness 5, you're going to see that every book we have right here has 1 edit on it. So now this book will have 2 edits on it, as with this one and these. Now, edits don't add together. If you're doing it like this, they simply add 1. Now, since this one has 2 and this one has 2, when we combine it, it's not going to have 4. It's just going to have 3. So now this book will have 3 edits. This book will have 3 edits. Now, if we combine this, obviously you're going to have 4 edits. So that's 4 edits for 1 single book. If we take this sword and we take 2 more enchantments right here, now this sword has 5, 6, and our anvil broke. And you should see right here, it says it's too expensive. Now that's because we've reached the max level of edits for all the items that went into this sword. Now the way to get around that is simply by not combining little tiny enchantment books to get 1. The best way to do it is to, first off, hold on. The best way to do it is to just fully enchant some books. I'm going to go ahead and go in creative mode and show you. We can get some books right here. Just get a stack and some lapis. I don't have the books anymore, do I? Nope. Let's get the books. You just want to go over to your enchantment table, get some sort of XP farm. They're pretty easy to make. If you go back to my episode 10, I think, of my survival series, I do make an Enderman farm that gives you tons of XP, plenty enough to do this, and you want to just enchant level 30s as much as you can. You're going to get some pretty crappy ones like that. You're going to get some crappy ones like that and some crappy ones like that. But every now and then you'll get a pretty good one, and they have a chance to have several enchantments on there. Like that's a sharpness 4 one. You really want to try to get ones that have 2 or max level enchanteds. Okay, it's like this one right here, where it has unbreaking 3 and sweeping edge 3. That's going to be a good book to use because it has 0 edits on it, and we already have 2 max level enchantments. Now, I recommend either getting a fish farm or going around and exploring and trying to get loot that has enchanted books that have high level enchantments, like exploring in cities. Or with the fish farms, you can get several books that have sharpness 4, looting 3s, things like that. to be able to have as few many edits on a single item as possible. Now, using this book method will take you quite a while, so I would recommend actually enchanting swords first and trying to get as many enchantments as you can with that. So I'm gonna go ahead and take all these, because with the swords you have a better chance of getting several enchantments that are specifically for the sword, because as you can see with the books you have several that don't even apply to the sword. You cannot put Depth Strider 2 on a sword. So I would recommend going through and trying to get the best enchantment sword you can get, the one that has at least 2 or 3 max level enchantments. I was unable to get one, but you get the point. One that for say has sharpness 4, looting 3, fire aspect 2, or any other, because that way your sword is already going to have 0 edits on it, but it's already going to have 3 max level enchantments. And that way you can add the books that you get later on to have max level enchantments, and you'll be able to get a fully maxed out sword. A lot of people for some reason say you can't get fully maxed out swords in vanilla. That's just not true. It's pretty easy once you know what you're doing and understand the way the editing works in the enchantment system. So armor is going to be a little bit different. With armor, it's going to be much more simpler. As you can see, the boots, however, do have 7 possible enchantments, but 2 of those enchantments are not compatible. Depth Strider 3 and Frostwalker you cannot put on the same unique pair of boots, because that wouldn't make sense. You can't, walk fast underwater if it's all turning to ice. So really it only has 6 possible enchantments that you can put on at once. So you don't really have to worry about coming into the cannot edit unless you have repaired your boots before, which will count as an edit, or if you have combined any books. Like I said, I recommend trying to get as many enchantments on a pair of boots at once before you start before you start applying these. Try to get as many as you can on there before. That way you have, like this one, it's a really good pair of boots. We only have to add 3 more things and it would be fully maxed out. I'll go back into survival just to show that that is the case. So I'm going to take this unenchanted pair of boots and we're going to add every enchantment, and you're going to be able to fully max out the boots without reaching a cannot edit or whatever it says, too expensive. It's gonna one more edit. If we repaired or anything, it wouldn't let us do it because it's too expensive. We've already reached our max. Now the boots are the only pair of armor that has that many enchantments possible. The leggings and chestplate are much more straightforward, and the helmet is close to it. It's at the max. It has 6 enchantments. Now, if there's any future update that adds more enchantments to these items, this of course will be a little bit different whenever that happens. But as you can see here, though, we do have a pair of boots right here that have 3 enchantments already on it. So all you would have to do to get this pair of boots that is fully maxed out is find the enchantments that you don't have on the pair of boots that you enchanted and get those books, and then you'll be able to get it fully enchanted. Now, like I said, with the leggings, chestplate, and helmet, it's a lot more simpler. So all you have to do is add the enchantments on there: thorns, protection, unbreaking, and mending. And you're only going to be at 4 edits. Pretty simple for those, pretty straightforward. You don't have to worry about coming into too expensive, and these books are relatively easy to come by. And also with the diamond helmet, and with the diamond helmet, I would recommend enchanting it first, like with the boots, because there are so many more enchantments that you can actually get with the boots. I mean, with the leggings and chestplate, you don't necessarily have to enchant first, or I wouldn't even recommend doing it first, because you actually can get the books pretty easily, and you won't have to worry about coming into a too expensive. So I would recommend enchanting your helmet first and your boots first before you add books to it. Okay, the rest of the tools are actually going to be a little bit different between the swords and the armor, because they only have 5 possible enchantments you can put on there, and technically you really only have 4, because 2 of them you cannot apply to the same thing. You cannot have Fortune 3 and Silk Touch on the same tool. So we have, for the Diamond Shovel, Efficiency 5, Silk Touch, Unbreaking 3, Fortune 3, and Mending. Now you're going to take all these, and like I said before, you can enchant first to see what you can get. I'm not going to go ahead and do it because I only have 1, but you can go ahead and just take all these books maxed out and put them on your anvil and get everything. Not that, because I already have it, and you're going to be able to get a max of 4 enchantments on 1 item. Now you can do the same thing for your pickaxe and axe. However, I would recommend doing like I did right here with the shovel, putting Fortune 3. I would recommend having 2 pickaxes, one for Fortune 3 and one for Silk Touch, because you will come into certain scenarios so you need both. And I would recommend Silk Touch for the axe, because for the axe, there's not really too many things that you'll need Fortune for, maybe leaves, stuff like that. And same thing with the shovel, mostly just gravel that'll drop an actual item. And Fortune 3 will 100% give you gravel, by the way, if you mine. Fortune 3 will 100% give you flint, my bad, if you mine gravel with a shovel. And for the flint and steel, fishing rod, and shears, it is a little bit different. You can have it, but I don't know if it'll do anything. Efficiency, Silk Touch, and Fortune For the flint and steel, just unbreaking and mending, that's really you don't really need to enchant that, but you can. I decided to include it. And the shear, same situation. Now the fishing rod is a little bit different. Now if you do have a fishing farm, you will get lots of fishing rods with these enchantments, so I would recommend doing that instead of actually enchanting a fishing rod for the easiest way to get that. But there are only 4, and you can apply them all, and it's one of the easiest items to enchant. Now we're going to jump over to the bow because that's a little bit different too. Okay, so with the bows, you actually have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 enchantments you can put on there. But like the same situation with the shovels, you have 2 enchantments that will not work together, such as Mending and Infinity. You're going to have both at the same time, so you really only have 5 possible enchantments. So you shouldn't, once again, come into any problems with cannot or too expensive if you do have fully unedited, maxed out items. Now, once again, I would recommend either enchanting a bow or going to making a fish farm, some sort of thing that will give you items that have several enchantments to try to get as many as you can on one item. That way you don't have to worry about coming into too expensive with that either. There's also the trident and shield. The shield follows the same principle as the the shear and the flint and steel, where you can only have 2. Any item that has a durability bar, you can apply unbreaking 3 and mending 2. Now the trident is a little bit different. You can have trident with loyalty 3, but if you have loyalty, you're not going to be able to have riptide. But you can have channeling. But if you have channeling, you're also not going to be able to have riptide. So riptide is not compatible with loyalty or channeling, but loyalty and channeling are compatible together. So you really have a maximum of 5 enchantments you can have on here. So you shouldn't, once again, have any problems with too expensive if you have fully maxed out unedited books. But once again, with other items, with many items that have lots of possible enchantments, I would recommend enchanting it first. Or if you can, it's pretty hard to get really good enchanted tridents from drops, but you know, if you can, try to do that as well. So to recap this whole video, I would recommend going and making some sort of farm that would give you enchanted books, such as a fish farm or enchanted items, or trying to just find as many enchanted items as you can to make sure that you can get fully maxed out enchantments with as little edits as you possibly can, because your max is 6. I would not recommend getting low-level book enchantments with the enchantment table, doing just a bunch of low levels and combining them, because you'll hit that limit much quicker than you would if you did max level enchantments. And I would recommend items such as the sword, the boots, the helmet, the bow, the trident, and that's about it. I would recommend enchanting those first. I just realized I forgot the hoe. The hoe is the same situation as these items, the shear and the flint and steel. You can put fortune and stuff on there, but it's not gonna really do anything. But like I said, I would 100% recommend having a fish farm and some sort of XP farm, because you will run through a ton of XP and it'll make your life a whole lot easier if you already have maxed out 0 edited enchanted books. So if you guys did find this video helpful at all, I'm going to try to edit it to where it's a little bit more coherent, because in the whole recording process I feel like I was a little bit rambly. But if you did enjoy it and it did help you out and help you understand the way enchanting works, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you guys in the next video.